Victory screech!
Oh, sorry. That probably was bad. There. Okay, I fixed it. Sorry, the audio was weird. I had played around with the audio. Maybe I hope that didn't completely destroy your eardrums. My apologies to everyone involved. But hello everybody. Welcome to a very exciting live stream. Some of you, most of you probably already know why we're here, what's going on. But we'll get into it soon. I'll give you guys the recap and we'll talk about what's going on. Big things happening, a big victory, asterisk. It's gonna be an interesting topic. I encourage you guys to let me know what you think about the whole situation, and let's just vibe for a while. This is kind of an impromptu last-minute stream, but we're gonna have a good little time here tonight. It's great to see you all here today. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody here. How y'all doing? Mr. Goatee says, "Great to hate." So did I, my friend. So did I. I feel like it's finally returned to full power. It can go even further beyond though. We'll see where we cut it off this time. Tired Boy, does your PC keep shitting itself, or is the blue screening issue fixed? The blue screen issue is not completely fixed. Thank you for asking. If this stream goes down suddenly, if it just goes, go back to my channel and refresh the page, and I'll try to go live again. Sometimes it still blue screens. It's rare now, but it might happen. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's all good though. It's all good. So let's talk about what's going on today. Big victory. Again, asterisk. Let's not beat around the meat though. It is definitely a win, for sure. But to give you guys a little bit of context, if for those who have not kept up, a little while ago, a few weeks ago, Wizards of the Coast, aka WotC / Hasbro, really shat the bed and did a lot of big stinky no legal things that decisions that were very bad and made it very bad for a lot of D&D content creators and product producers, companies, that kind of thing. And they've been waffling a little bit back and forth on like, oh, you heard and we're listening, kind of thing. And it all sounded very corporate and not real. But today, finally, we got some real concrete good shit happening. You know what I'm saying? Liquid's here. Ayo, someone update me real quick. I just joined. You just joined at the very beginning. No worries. You're good. I'm giving the recap on what happened before with Wizards of the Coast. You probably know about the situation, but now big stuff's happening. We just started the stream. Welcome. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. It is a win. 5e is safe. Yep, they will do some shit with 1 D&D later for sure. Yeah, but it all happened with 4e already, so that is a 10-year cycle. That's fair. Yes, BG. BG quoting the, yes. BG quoting the ultimate corporate double-speak sentence from the previous update. The, you guys didn't win. We all won. That's what was there before. But, here, let me swoop over here. Look, it's you guys. Can I zoom in just a little bit here? Make it a little bit better. There we go. That's probably good, right? Sweet. I'm not even a big D&D enthusiast yet, says Liquid, but even I'm somewhat aware of what they've been up to. Great. Well, that was the very short recap. Yeah, they've been doing some big bungus, humongous. But let me pull up the tweet here. Let's give the official. I'm gonna read it off here. Special thanks to BG for being the one to bring this to my attention specifically. And this is gonna be a real laid-back stream. Again, we're just kind of chatting, updating some people who maybe don't know what's going on, and we'll all talk about it. Y'all behave over there. I'm gonna take you away if you're naughty. Let me just search Twitter D&D. Let me just get the big one up. So D&D Beyond tweeted. When was this? This was today at 3 p.m. So a little over 2 hours ago. Over the past few weeks, you, the community, have made your voices heard, and we've listened. OGL 1.0A will remain untouched. That is the legal document that they were trying to change. And the entire SRD 5.1, meaning D&D 5th edition, right now, like the resources, is now available under a Creative Commons license. Actually, let me just put it on screen. A smart streamer would do that. Not Twitter. I'm not putting Twitter on screen. Fuck that. But I have a little screenshot here. Here it is. Look, in all its glory. Wow. There it is, gang. Zoozy booty. So it's a victory. But for those of you who listened to my thoughts last time on the bad part of the situation, I did a stream a few weeks ago, and this was still sort of a new thing. New, heavy air quotes there. My thoughts of the whole situation were basically, it's bad, but I think it's not very helpful or productive to just be up in arms, raw, rage, yell, scream, anger. You see what I'm saying? Liquid, try refreshing your stream if you're not seeing messages, and also click live chat instead of top chat. People have that issue sometimes. Try refreshing. Yeah, so anyway, last time when the bad stuff was happening, I had this this sort of attitude of like, yes, it's bad, but also let's not be too passionate about this, because it's worth thinking about. And I have the same opinion now, only reverse. This is a good thing, but let's not hoot and holler and say everything is better and we won. It's all fixed now, because the question is, what's next? So let me explain a little bit about what this little screenshot here means. For those of you who don't know what Creative Commons is, some of you might not know what that's all about. Basically, so they're not touching the original document. They're leaving OGL 1.0A in place, which is the original document that they tried to do away with, that would fuck over many, many people. So they're leaving that alone. And also, they're uploading all of the content to Creative Commons. And Creative Commons is basically, it's kind of like what the OGL 1.0 was. You know, it's like you can use all this stuff for free. But Creative Commons is like, that's outside their control. That is not something that they can change in the future. So this is actually future-proof. Like, they are disarming themselves of this, of the power that they waved over us, which is really good. Liquick said that's good, right? Yes, that's very good. That is an extremely important sort of tidbit here. This right here is good news. This here is big good news. But yeah, it's insane. And thank you, Jim, for complimenting the drip, the pajama drip. This is what happens when it's a last minute thing. BG says the rage and screams with D&D Beyond subscription cancellation was the reason why we have won. Right. And that's sort of that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about, is that it's an unfortunate side effect that the big motivation behind this decision is not because they give a shit about us. I'm willing to wager it's to protect their profits. Which, that's what boycotting is all about. You put your money where your mouth is, right? You talk their language, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's how that works. But hey, it worked. And again, they went a mile beyond, and they said Creative Commons, which is that's actually very surprising. Only way to speak with corporate. Yeah, basically. So we won, Mr. Frodo. We won, Mr. Frodo. But the reason why I say asterisk is because the big question is what's next. And BG mentioned how we're going into the next version of D&D, that is D&D 1, or right, one D&D. Like, what are they gonna do with that? And the other sort of side of it is like the damage is done, right? It's kind of this attitude that like they pulled this shit. They fixed it. They fixed the boo-boo. We're good there. But this shows their true colors. It shows their attitude. They made it very clear with their wording, and I talked about it in the last stream. I touched on the idea that not only was it bad in action, but also their words made it very clear that we, the creators, are the opposition, the adversaries, their enemies, you know, competitors, right? So it's like, what has really changed in terms of the people up top? And I see people in the, you know, in the Twitter responses, Twitter comments and stuff that are hooting and hollering and being like, oh my god, I'm literally shaking right now, I'm in tears, it's so good, it's a good thing. And it is, but in terms of the attitude and the, you know, what we can expect from them in the future, what's really changed here, you know? I want to see if they fire some people up top, which is not going to happen, but, you know, I'm quite certain. They did go the extra mile while fixing it, so I'm thinking they at least somewhat care about their reputation. Yeah, Liquid, care about their reputation is a good way of putting it, because do they care about us? Do they care about the players and the creators? You know, that's up for interpretation. But they at least care about their reputation, you know. So yeah, a good point. And BG says, you must remember that SRD 5.1 is not all of the content. Can you educate me on that? What is included or excluded by saying SRD 5.1? I'm still not clear on that. If you could enlighten me on that, that would be great. Yeah, send me a link. Sure. I've seen some stuff about it, but I'm not super I'm not a master of that information. And BG says the thing with 1D&D is that they can't fool us anymore, I think is what you meant. They can't fool us anymore, and they'll have to sell it to us. And with the community full of rules lawyers, they will have a really hard time. Yeah. Oh, force. Thank you. Force us anymore. Yes. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. Like, that's the meme right now. Is like, oh, good job. You tried to pull a fast one on an entire community of people who are literally rules lawyers, who have been practicing interpreting rules, which, what is a legal document if not a big rule book, right? You tried to pull a fast one on a whole entire generation of nerds who you've been conditioning all along to read the rules and interpret the rules and come up with their own content. You're fucking over people who make their own rules and know how to make good rules. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, big massive L to Wizards of the Coast for even attempting this. Thank you for the link. I just got it, BG. Let me open this up here and see. Okay, oh, this is big. Okay, wow, okay, this is a big thing you sent me. This is good. I'm gonna see if I can get the gist of it here in terms of what SRD is. My interpretation of SRD is that it's always just been like the content of the rules. You know, this is a 400-page document, Christ almighty. System reference document 5.1 is provided free of charge under Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International License. So, Creative Commons. Free to use this content, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it's right there. So this is, okay, so check this out. I will show this. This is very fucking cool. Oh, check this out. This might be fucked up. It's not fucked up. Great. This is super cool. Look at this. So this is literally what? This is what I had. This was my question last time. One of my big questions. Thank you guys. Sorry. Thank you. I didn't I messed with my audio settings and I fixed them for a lot of my screens, but not all of them. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys. It's fixed. Yeah, I got it. So this is big. This is a huge document. It's under Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 right there. There it is. Black and white. Blah, blah, blah. 400-page document. Huge thing. This page is intentionally left. They intentionally left this page blank. I don't know what. That's good. We love blank pages. Last time I had the question, which is, where's the fucking line? Where does your protected material end and my rights begin? This is it. Look. This is the rules of D&D that we're allowed to use. We're allowed to use all of this. Elf, dwarf, halfling, dragonborn. Look at all this shit. This is great. I'm glad you sent me this. This answers my question. What is not in here is the big question. Can you give me a very short BG, can you give me a very short answer? Do you know what's not in here? In other words, what can we not use? Do you know that off the top of your head? Liquid. It was dramatic effect. Yeah, the double audio was dramatic effect. Sure. Adner. Duh rules. Exactly. It's duh rules. Artificer, mind flares, and some stuff like that. Artificer makes sense because that was a very, it's a very, like, what's the word? Artificer is very, very much from D&D. Like, that's a lot more original. You know, a wizard is not an original concept, but an artificer in the D&D context might be. So that makes some sense. Mind flares, that's also something where it's like, okay, this is a creature that kind of, I believe, originated in D&D, so you can't use mind flares. Okay, cool. That's helpful. Thank you. And Okami Joe, welcome. I'm glad you're here. It's so crazy that the time I get into D&D, they try to restrict it. Well, good news for you, they just undid a lot of their restrictions. This is very fucking cool. I wonder, what's the status of Unearthed Arcana? Where does that lie? Because I'm not seeing... These are just base, these are base classes, so I wonder if we scroll down, are we gonna get to, like, the subclasses and stuff? Ability check skills, yeah, this is interesting. Aren't the mind flares also in Baldur's Gate? Would that be problematic for that game, a non-D&D expert? Yeah, Baldur's Gate is a D&D setting. It originated in D&D. That's a great question. Baldur's Gate is, it takes place in the world of D&D, so even in games where it might not have Dungeons and Dragons in the title, it's still like a property owned by these people. But it won't be problematic for that game because that game is owned by those people, I think. So, good question. Yeah, and BG, yeah, you can make your own artificer. You can call it Technomancer or the Gadgeteer. You can make a new version of artificer. You just can't call it the artificer and you know, have all the same features and stuff. I sent you the old one to see the difference in legal talk at the beginning. Oh, okay, interesting. Here's the old one. Okay, old one's here. Here's the difference, guys. Here's the difference. This was OGL 1.1. See, I never looked into OGL 1.1. So this was the bullshit document that they were going to try to enact and invoke, right? Look at the difference. The old one, look at all this shit. Legal information, open game license, bullet points, look, see? Look at all that shit. The new one, Creative Commons. Creative Commons, just, you can use it, period. Creative Commons, you can't alter that shit, right? Creative Commons is where, like, we as YouTubers get our safe to use music oftentimes, unless we're, you know, paying for a license, obviously. But like the music you're listening to right now, actually this one might be attribution license, which means I have to say in the description who it is. But point is, a lot of music that I play on my streams I get from the YouTube audio library, and a lot of those are Creative Commons license. So this is very cool. The new one also doesn't have this stuff about printing on the end of all pages. Oh. Not for resale. Permission granted to print or photocopy this document for personal use only. Is what you're talking about here at the bottom. Which by the way, has affected me in the past. An Office Max told me I couldn't make copies of a character sheet a long time ago because they misread this at the bottom. They said, we can't copy that. No, it says for personal use. I'm not doing it for whatever, commercial use. But this doesn't have that. You can take this shit, you can print it, you can show it to everyone. That's cool. So this, look, so now we're in wow, monster manual. We're in the monster manual. I'm so glad you sent me this, BG. Thank you so much. We're in monsters now. Look, you can use a young copper dragon in your game. Wowzers, blowzers. Welcome, Five Cats. No worries, you're good. We're looking at the new license for everything D&D. Nice. Okay, so BG, you say that mind flayers. You say that mind flayers are not in here. Let me go find that. It is not that you can not use it in your own game. It's no. What I mean by BG. What I mean by my own game or your own game, I mean if you make custom content. Your own, that's kind of what I should say your own modules or your own adventures that you publish. Books, or products, what have you. Yes, I know that difference. I just misspoke. Thank you for the clarification. Yes, this is stuff that you can use in your content that you sell. Let me look for mind flayers because it's not in here. I guess I can just Control F. Yeah, no result there. So that's super cool. I'm not gonna look for that long. They don't own skeletons, guys. We get to keep our skeletons. Excellent. So yeah. This gives you a concise answer as to what you can use. For those of you who missed the announcement in the last stream, I talked about this. I'm going to be making my own tabletop role-playing game system, my own rule set, so that if you don't want to play D&D anymore, or you don't want to play, Pathfinder, or you just want to try something new, or you want to support your boy, or whatever, you can play my game that I'm coming up with a good friend of mine who's going to be helping me work on stuff for the channel. Cool stuff. This gives us an answer as to what we can use. We can put a Remoraz in our game, which is a badass monster, by the way. We can put a purple worm in our system, So very, very cool. That is a lot of work in front of you. Oh, yeah. Oh, and you know what? Well, I don't know how much they changed in the body of the text, but this does somewhat go to show how long why they took a long time to get a new thing to us. Vox Machina would have been screwed, but not really because they've got that money. Well, yeah, that's a great question, or sorry, a great point, I should say. I'm pretty sure Critical Role made their stance clear and said that they will not, they're not supporting Wizards of the Coast anymore. Like, they made their stance made. I don't know what the status would be of the show, like the Amazon show, Vox Machina. It seems like they would have been in trouble, exactly. They would have been screwed over a little bit. And yeah, they have the money, but they would have had to fork over a lot. So this is all very good news in that regard. I definitely play it, not only because it sounds cool, but I have to support your boy. Of course, well, thank you for that, 5Cats. Also, it's going to be my custom system will be very easy to learn and streamlined. So that's a big plus on that side. Oh, their contract with Wizards, they couldn't say it in front. Okay, so they couldn't say it out loud. But correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that they implied, that they are, that they're not gonna, that they're with us, or they're with the people. But yeah, they did. Okay, cool. Liquid, whenever I dip my toes into anything D&D, I always get surprised by the amount of stuff there is to find out about it in the community, because holy crap, that's a massive fucking document. Well, yeah. It's an extremely interesting thing, and I encourage you, Liquid, shameless plug, but I encourage you to go and look at the last stream I did about this whole topic, because I talked a lot about sorry, my eyes are really itching me. I talked a lot about the history of D&D and what led to this situation in terms of like the open game license and everything, and 4th edition going into 5th edition, and how big it exploded and why it exploded. And the fact that so much of Wizards of the Coast's profits were being basically lost, like missed out on, because of the nature of the open nature of the game. And so it's a very interesting thing that all kind of went into this. And there's a massive amount of legalese here when it's tied up with this. So yeah, it is incredibly interesting, and that's why I do these streams, is because and that's why I am the way that I am in terms of my stance on this stuff. Like, I can say boo, down with WotC, or yay, we win, but there's always so much more to say about it. I'm glad you said that, Liquid, because it encapsulates why I do these streams and talk about this stuff. You know, the history, Critical Role makes it big, Hasbro wants money. Yeah. I mean, that's the short answer for sure. But it's worth it, you know. I feel like I owe it to the size of the situation. You know, it deserves to be talked about and really kind of just discussed, and you know, we can vibe here and talk about it. Okami Joe, Hasbro has so many properties, but they really wanted to attack the fantasy nerds. Yeah, well, they wanted to attack the fantasy nerds that were making so much more money than they were, is the real crux of the issue. Because I might be wrong on these numbers, so take this with a huge grain of salt, but I think the D&D market was at like $1.2 billion this last year, but Hasbro was only making like 150 million. So like a fraction of the money that was in the space, in the market, on the table, was actually getting into their pockets, which I don't really care, you know, but that's sort of the very real issue that they were faced with. And to remind you guys, from what I heard, Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast were forced to discontinue some projects. They had to cancel some projects because they couldn't get the funding for it. So they were in a bit of a pickle that is it was a two-edged sword, the original open game license, right? For them. For us, you know, obviously we OGL good, Creative Commons good, you know. So it's an interesting thing. Yeah, it is very fascinating, Liquid. Lurk away, Creative Hate. They could just start selling good, affordable miniatures. Yeah, they really could, especially with the rise of 3D printers on the market. I mean, shoot, people, you know, you and me, you're only 2 degrees of separation away from someone who owns a 3D printer and would love to print you a really cheap miniature, and then you can paint it yourself. You know, I mean, so they really should try to make some more affordable miniatures for sure. They just gotta make some better Transformer stuff. Yeah, that's true. Hey, yo. Transformers official role-playing game rule set. You know, hey, that'd be great. And they chose to make a movie. Well, I mean, a movie is honestly not a bad move. Movies are big, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not a movie guy, so I don't really give a shit. You know, yeah, Charles has a 3D printer, would love to print things. I'm saying. Exactly. And hey, Charles, listen. You know, I remember what you asked me about, you know, in terms of, you know, you wanting to print some stuff. So PM me again, and we can make that happen a little bit more, right? Resin printers. Ooh, yeah. Resin printers that's the next gen shit right there, you know? That's next level. For those who don't know, resin printing is how you get really good looking stuff. Like this 3D printed Tiamat whose head came off. But like, look at the tail here. Look, that's smooth. That's smooth. It ain't crunchy. The heads are a bit crunchy, especially that green one that's transparent. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I guess you probably can't tell very well, but like, resin printing is very cool. Suffice to say. I got the Owlbear Transformer thingy recently. I didn't know there was one. An Owlbear Transformer? That's awesome. Yes, owlbears are awesome. We love owlbears for sure. We had an owlbear egg that hatched in a campaign that I played in a long time ago. I need to incorporate them a little bit more. I need more owlbears in my life. Well, let me get that out of there. The movie might be fire. Let's talk about the movie for a second. That's a good topic, right? Liquid says a D&D movie sounds like a badass idea, despite it having a big chance of it being very painful to people who actually know about the game. Took the words right out of my mouth. Listen, I don't watch movies. I'm not a big movie guy, and I'm also not really a critic. You know, I'm not a kind of guy who looks at a movie and says, "Oh, this looks like it's not going to be good." But I am admittedly a snob when it comes to D&D a little bit, just a little bit, you know. So when the D&D trailers came out, I watched it and I was like, I don't know. It looks a bit cringe to me, just because of all the cheesy like fan service lines, like, what is that? An owl bear? Like they had to say it, you know. There's gonna be so many like easy jokes, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's true, CPR, and I'm not a huge fan of Hero Forge's business model either, but you're right, that's a big competitor. Okami Joe, I remember Shia LaBeouf wanted to do a D&D movie about a game going on, but the action was being done by actors. I've had that same idea. That'd be so amazing. I love that. Let's see. Can't really see the movie working. Charles, if they don't stop every 20 steps and roll a d20, I don't want it. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, so much of the D&D experience can't really work in a movie format, you know, you might say. So I feel like there's a way that you can capture the D&D flavor and the jokes without just going for the low-hanging fruit, you know? Like, if one of the characters looks right at the camera and rolls their eyes and goes, "Bards, am I right?" Like, that shit would hurt my soul, you know? But if they, like, check for traps in a very nonchalant way, in a very, like, natural way, just like, oh, hold on, there might be a trap here, you know? Right? Like, that would be cool. There has to be a stealth segment where it goes wrong. You know, if you can do those jokes in a very sort of, like, natural way that people who play D&D can look at that and say, oh, that was checking for traps, or oh, that was a stealth roll gone wrong. It can be fun, but I feel like I'm gonna be rolling my eye a lot during the movie. Video game and book adaptations are usually a bit of a 50-50. Imagine something like D&D having similar problems. Yep. Yeah. They should have just animated like Dragon Age Dawn of the Seeker. Haven't seen it. But yeah, I mean, wasn't there gonna be an animated D&D movie? Am I crazy? With Dritz Do'Urden in it? Corridor. Oh, okay. So is that the Corridor Digital one? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, because is that what that is? Because I saw that and that shit looked pretty cool. No, not animated. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. I'm not sure what you're talking about then. But I thought that there was an animated or a very heavily CGI D&D movie trailer that had Dritz Do'Urden, who's a popular drow hero from novels and such. Five Cats, they could make one of those kind of jokes very easily if it was a Jumanji type situation. That would also be very cool, being sucked into the D&D world and you know, knowing the rules and surviving in this world because you know how D&D works would also be very cool. You'd have to be careful not to be too much like Stranger Things, you know, at that degree. But, you know, that could work too. Yeah, isekai, exactly, isekai. Oh shit, Jumanji's an isekai. Oh fuck. I wish I didn't hear this. Corridor Digital. Okay, so I have no idea what this is. You sent me a link. I'm gonna open up. Oh no! Stop! I don't. Whatever. Just stop. I'm looking at this right now. I can swoop over. Oh no. Oh, this looks. Oh, okay. So is this what we're talking about? Because I see them at a table. Yeah. Oh fuck. Sorry. Sorry. I keep accidentally hitting my fucking mouse buttons that are doing stuff.
The source of this mind flare hive, we need to go deeper.
And there are like tokens there. Yeah, that's very cool. I've had a similar idea before for doing something like that. Yeah, Charles, sending you a link, Chris, perfectly safe to watch on stream. Turn up the volume. Yeah. I'm watching you, motherfucker. I'm watching you. I'm not gonna watch this whole thing, but I got the idea, and it looks very cool. If they add dragons to it, I'm probably gonna watch it. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I will say, on the topic of like cringy references to D&D that the movie might contain that might make me roll my eyes, right? One thing I saw was in the trailer of the Dungeons and Dragons movie. At one point, there is a dragon that swoops over, and it's a black dragon, I believe, which means it spits acid out, a line of acid. So it spits out an acid line, and it swoops off. Okay? So, okay, cool. There's a black dragon there that spits out acid. That's accurate. Cool. I like that. But supposedly, people in the comments were theorizing as to specifically what dragon that was. There were people in the Twitter comments on that trailer saying, oh, a big black dragon. That might be, you know, Rathax, the black dragon from this setting. You know what I'm saying? So there was a possibility that this was a specific black dragon that is from canon D&D, you know, stories and settings or whatever. So that kind of shit's cool. That's good. If you can put in references in a very natural way where you know, super D&D fans can know, you know, what the reference is and be like, oh, I know what that is. That's cool. Imagine the D&D, in the D&D movie, they will pull a Lego movie and step back into the real world and see the people who are playing the characters in the movie. You know, I've never actually seen the Lego movie. Because again, I don't watch movies. A lot of you guys probably know this about me. I don't fucking watch movies. I don't know why. I just don't. I don't have the initiative. But a good movie. Yes, I have heard it is very good. But yeah. If they pull that, that'd be pretty cool. I would like that if in the official D&D movie they zoom out and at the very end, the final, like, not plot twist, but like the final sort of reveal is that, oh, this was all a game. Oh, it was all, you know, campaign. You know. Big black dragon. Black dragon can't be a big bad evil guy. Sure it can. They must do that to make the D&D movie not a random fantasy one. Yeah. It'd be a strong move for sure. I mean, it's already not going to be a generic fantasy movie simply because of the references that they're making that I say are kind of cringy, right? That's an owl bear or a bugbear. No, it was owl bear. That's an owl bear. Huh. Rolls eyes. Wink, wink, one nudge, nudge. We know that you know what these are called. Whatever. There'll probably be a mind flare as the big villain. But, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But enough about the movie. Enough of that. Let's wrap up our little discussion here about this D&D OGL stuff and talk about what it means for the future. Like I said, this is a big win, but it's really going to be interesting to see how Wizards of the Coast recovers from this. I want to see the numbers. The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? I want to see how much money they lost from D&D Beyond subscriptions and how long it'll take for them to recover those losses. I would be very interested to see those numbers. Because, you know, what's next? You know, what do the people think about this? Because I think this is good news, but also like I'm kind of still pissed at WotC and Hasbro, right? And I'm sure it'll repeat somehow. And like BG said, moving into the next version of D&D, 1D&D, they're probably gonna keep that under pretty tight grips, right? And this is something I sort of postulated on in the last stream, was if you make everything in the past, or not everything, but you know, most things in the past, 5th edition and back, if you make all of that open source and free to use, but then moving forward, you try to keep it a little more under reins, right? That's one thing they could do. But I think it was Stout Shaco and probably a few others that said that, okay, well, if they do that, though, people are probably just, like, not gonna give them their money for one D&D, because why would you want to pay for the next thing if you know that this is gonna happen again? Like, why not just use the free shit and you know, jump ship to Pathfinder or whatever? So, yeah, so that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, if they come out with one D&D and they say, okay, but this is ours now, no openness, you know, what's gonna, you know, how will it do? Because Pathfinder's booming right now. Pathfinder 2nd edition, ladies and gentlemen. And BG said they did that for 4th edition, now 5e, and later one, it just happens. Yeah, like you said, it's a cycle. It'll probably just be a cycle. Oh, and good distinction, BG. 5e content is in the Creative Commons, but other editions is still in the OGL, which apparently is you know, gonna be untouched and is good. So we'll see. And that's the real thing. That's the real kicker too. Is that, like, OGL 1.0A is here to stay and we'll never touch it. It's like, can we get that in writing? Is like, it was already questionable if they were even allowed to do that before. But there's no, you know, that's why the Creative Commons is good. Creative Commons means they can't go back on their word. They put it in there, it's in there, you know, it's good. But yeah, OGL 1.0 will never change. And it's like, and they said, use whichever one you want. Use this, use the old one or Creative Commons. Use Creative Commons. I am not a legal expert. I am not an attorney. I'm not an expert on the matter, so take it with a grain of salt. But coming from me, I believe the best move would be to use the Creative Commons shit, not the OGL, because there's no guarantee. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah, Charles. I mean, real talk. We said it during the last stream. How many WotC / Hasbro execs, how many of the big wigs in that boardroom meeting actually play D&D or enjoy D&D or give a shit about, you know, probably zero. My money's on one, maybe one plays D&D every now and then. They won't go for this anymore because they need to make a new SRD. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we're, you know, in terms of the OGL, I don't know that they will, you know, try to change it again. They probably learned their lesson. We can fucking hope, but, you know, just to be safe kind of thing. They haven't made themselves out to be super trustworthy, so I'm definitely opting for the Creative Commons approach if I ever, you know, want to use their property again for any stuff, you feel me? It's interesting. It's a mess, but this seems to be the end of this this journey. We're closing the book on this, or we're closing the chapter. We're closing the book on this book of the overarching series that is the D&D drama. But the next book, we'll see what it contains. We'll see what happens next time. It sounds like they just need to figure out another form of revenue without angering their player base. Yeah, and that's what I talked about last time. Again, shameless plug, but go check it out, my last stream, to get more context, because we talked about a lot of this stuff. There are ways to make money, and there are ways to reap the benefits of your property and get a slice of that pie without fucking everyone over, you know? I entertained a few ideas last time. I don't know if they're good ideas. I'm not an exec at Hasbro, unfortunately. But, you know, there are ways of doing it, and maybe they'll figure it out someday. But you know, they took a hit, and hopefully they learn their lesson not to bite the hand that feeds them. Companies are starting to lose a lot these past few years. Yeah, true. How many times we need to teach you this lesson, old man? Yeah, exactly. BG says they are making the revenue. They're just greedy. They've got D&D Beyond. They have the books. Well, of course. But again, and we touched on it last time. You know, corporate greed, you know, mega corporations, and the greed of man is always an issue, especially with this kind of stuff, you know, and that's its own sort of can of worms, and late stage capitalism and yada yada. You know, there's all those sides to it, and obviously, you know, corporate greed is always just going to be there to fuck us in the ass. But as I sort of talked about last time, like, I don't have a problem with Wizards of the Coast making more money, just in and of itself. You know, the issue is not them making money. I don't care. It's the fucking us over. It's when we suffer for it is where it starts to, you know, have a problem. And again, they canceled some projects. There were some there. I don't know what they were. I think they were still very like prototype, under wraps, you know, type things, that got canceled because they said they didn't have enough money for it, and they could be lying. You know, obviously, everything with a grain of salt. But we talked about last time, it could have been Alex Gardner that in chat here that said that a feedback loop of a corporation making a lot of money from succeeding and then using that money to cycle back into the community, that's a good loop to have. You know, when people are greedy, but we reap some benefits from it, you know. Oh, what's up, Alex? Just joined. What's the summary? The summary is that we won big time. Yeah, you heard the news. All right. Well, you know the news then. My thoughts are just that you know, it's interesting. It's an interesting situation. We'll see what happens next because the damage is done to a degree, but it's definitely good news. We just you know, I'm just very curious as terms of how long will it take for these wounds to heal. Just make figures. I'll buy figures, bundle them with books, dice, and other crazy stuff. Yeah, see, that's that's a great example. People love figures. People love toys. You know, people love products. Are you kidding me? There are so many people who are into collecting. You know, collecting fucking. Not that they don't have this. Obviously, they do have it. But make a big ass Tiamat figure. I know that exists. I'm sure it does. But things like that. You know, make figures. Make quality miniatures that are more affordable, perhaps, you know? Special edition dice sets. And I know a lot of this exists. I know. But, like, you know, yeah, like, it's not inherently a bad thing for corporations to get money and then use that money to give us more cool shit that we want, you know? So it's just a thing. Won the battle. War on greed, not so sure. Freaking corpo. Yeah, exactly. The war on greed rages on. We won the battle, but that's kind of my outlook. Is like, let's see what the future holds. I heard the SRD is under Creative Commons license. I don't know what that means. Okay, so yeah, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I'll touch on it. I'll actually show you. Look, whee! Creative Commons basically means that is like the ultimate sort of pinnacle of free to use. Us YouTubers, we use a lot of music that is Creative Commons license, which means someone else made it, it belongs to someone else, but anyone can use it for any reason, right? So now it's that. And this, thank you to BG for sending this to me, this is the new SRD under Creative Commons. And look, it's all the rules. See, so this basically says like, okay, here's what you can use for your own products, your own adventures, your own modules, your own books and rule sets and that things of that nature. Yeah, so it definitely is a big win. And also an important distinction is that not everything in D&D is in here. For example, Mind Flayers and Artificers are not in here. You can't use Artificers or Mind Flayers for your stuff because those are very sort of original to D&D concepts. You know, so you know, this is a useful document to have in front of us. Adults love toys, especially especially adults like me who grew up broke and never had it and can now. Exactly. Oh, dude, freaking oh, I don't have them with me. I I have some quality lightsabers that I got from Saberforge and Ultra Sabers a long time ago, back when I first sort of became an adult and made money. I'm like, look, I can buy toys now. Exactly, right? Fucking look at this wicked dragon I have. It's a Reaper's Bones mini. It's not a D&D official one, but I painted it. Adults love toys, right? Exactly. Give us more toys, more fun stuff. Yeah, for sure. And then BG says, instead of virtual D&D Beyond dice, sell normal ones. Dice goblins will get them no matter what. I used to know, or I used to hang out with someone who was a true dice goblin. Had a big fucking, a big like poker chip case, basically, just full of dice, you know? People love dice. And also, question, do they do that? They sell virtual dice? Come on. How much money would they have lost of people dropping and only using the old material or homebrews? A lot, if people are just not buying D&D products anymore, which is why they're saving their skin with this, you know? Yeah. And they were already losing money, is the point. They're already losing money for all of the homebrew that's allowed to exist because of the old OGL, which is why they were trying to change it, you know? So, yeah. They were trying to tap the brakes on how much homebrew is being sold, you know? Yeah. Almost spent $30 on a pound of dice at a game exchange. A pound of dice, dang. Worth it. A whole how many dice is that? Okay, someone do the math for me, Okami Jokes. Fill me in on exactly how many dice are there, because that sounds like a good deal, honestly. Just get them with a subscription. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. Wait until D&D NFTs start dropping. Well, Liquid, I like having you aboard because you always say the right thing. You always bring up the good points. They said in their previous sort of announcement, from what I remember, they said that they're not going to do NFTs. They're like, they said, we're not going to do it. Sorry, Charles. I'm sorry to bring that into our existence. But yeah, we're talking about it. Apparently they're not going to. We'll fucking see. I don't know. This is great news, honestly. A little worried about them turning D&D Beyond into a microtransaction heck hole, but we will see. Yeah, I mean, that's probably what's going to happen. And the thing is, I don't have D&D Beyond, and I'm a very strong advocate for not getting D&D Beyond because you so totally don't need it. You can play D&D without it. Very, you know, it's very doable. There are other websites. There's the Wikidot, the 5e tools. We don't talk about that one. Shush. There's other, you know, there's places to find the rules and places to build character sheets and yada yada. You know, so that's just me though. Some people like having it, and I'm not taking that away from anyone. If you truly enjoy D&D Beyond and what it offers you, and you're now comfortable with giving them your money again, then you know, that's that. But you know, whatever. 60 dice in one pack. Pretty good. Let's see. Oh, if Wizards of the Coast were to make a Nightmare Before Christmas X D&D set, that's a great call. Crossovers. Oh man. I don't know business well enough to know if that's a good idea, but Wizards of the Coast crossovers, which I'm pretty sure they've done some, but like special dice sets, official. That's an idea. No, Liquid. It's no. You're just bringing it up. You're asking the big questions, which is, well, yeah, you know, if you don't know jack about D&D, then that's, you know, you're coming from an important perspective, right? The perspective of people on the outside looking in, or people who want to get into D&D. But they're stepping into a minefield of this drama. They're jumping into an ocean of crazy shit, and they're just like, whoa! I thought this was a game about failing stealth checks and blowing up the general shop with fireballs and fighting mind flayers. What am I walking into? You know, it's an important perspective to have. So, yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, we talked about the D&D movie a while ago, Abner. Scroll back if you want to hear my thoughts on that. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Yeah, and we haven't blue screened yet. Knock on wood. Everyone, find some wood and knock on it. But yeah, I've been having technical difficulties. Yeah, so it's we'll see. I would love to have a D&D dice set that looks like Oogie Boogie dice. Yeah. Would you like a long rest? What the? Oh no! Oh, ultimate microtransaction, dude. D&D turns pay to win. Holy shit! I'm sure that's gonna happen. For one D&D, you literally have to pay individually for like perks to use in game. A hero coin or an action point. If you spend $1, you can use this at your table. And it gives you an extra action on your turn. Holy shit. I don't even want to think about that makes me feel worse than NFTs do. EA Dungeons. Yeah. D&DA. Want to reroll? Pay. Yeah, you get to pay for inspiration or advantage. Yep. Oh boy. Oh. I'd love to see that happen. I'd hate for it to happen, but I'd love to watch it happen. Okami Joe, 1 D&D just never sounded good. Yeah, I mean, I never really looked too deeply into 1 D&D. It just rubs me the wrong way whenever there's like a 1 something. Like, we're starting over, and this is a new generation of this thing that we're doing, and it's all in one, and everything is gonna be reset, and it's, you know, they kind of make it sound like a utopia of rules. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds really like, whoa. Yeah, so I'm that was what rubbed me the wrong way about it. And you know what? Hey, you know, listen to your vibes sometimes, guys. When 1 D&D was announced, I was like, that sounds weird. What are you doing, Wizards of the Coast? And then they come and pull this shit, you know. Xbox One. Yeah, I mean, I love my Xbox One, but yeah, it's the same concept of like 1, like it is the new beginning. And you know, to be fair, Xbox One was a very literal version of 1 because it's like an all-in-one entertainment console. So you know, but yes. Pay for rolling the dice, fucker. Yeah. It'd be so fun if some sort of corrupt industry D&D villain becomes like a demigod over the game, and now the players have to get a bunch of money to do anything because there's a DLC everywhere. Oh, dude, it just becomes totally meta. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Are you kidding me? I'm sure that people all over the world are putting a corrupt, super mega corporate entity into their D&D games at home, you know? And this is the villain. They're making Wizards of the Coast the villains in their campaigns. 100%. 100% that's happening. When you find the Tycoon demigod, the players have to constantly pay for things. Yep. All right, Jim. I'll see you around, my friend. Thanks for being here, buddy. It's a little late over there, ain't it? Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. Have a great night. Xbox Series X and I hate the name of the new Xbox. Couldn't they just have gone for the Xbox 720? Come on, we wanted that a generation ago. Give us the Xbox 720 next time. Whoa, blow our minds. D&D horror story about a DM on Roll20 that did that. Charged players for gear at the start like DLC. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and someone, you know, I might have heard that story. Was it someone who worked at a game store? Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something different. Yeah, the 720 was just gonna be a ball. Yeah, the game sphere. Isn't that it's Drake and Josh, right? Spherical. The game sphere. We want that. But yeah, it's all wacky. Well, I'm gonna wrap up here in just a minute. Your boy needs to go get some food. But it was great talking to you guys. If there's any last-minute little tidbits to throw into our conversation, speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm gonna peace out and get some food in me in a minute here. But I'll give you guys a quick update on me. Like I said, I hope to produce more new content on this channel in the future. A friend of mine, we have some very cool ideas for things we want to upload around here and finally get this channel up and going, aside from just like Elder Vale, my campaign. Go watch my campaign diaries about the campaign I'm doing that you guys helped me build. More campaign diary and campaign building streams in the future for Elder Vale 2 once that game starts up, because people are busy. If you like me, head over to my main channel, Chris the Absolute Legend, link down below, and come watch me play video games. There's a hiatus right now because my PC is shitty, but I am gonna hope to do some fun games and streams on the main channel next week, hopefully. Fingers crossed, everybody. So if you want to come join me and play some games, hang out, have a couple of drinks responsibly, and have some good vibes, then come see me there. I'd love to have you. As usual, thanks for supporting me, thanks for watching, and thanks for having this discussion with me here today. Always stay tuned and keep being patient with me, guys. Fun, exciting stuff in the future on my main channel. Definitely stick around. Anyone see the copy pasta in WoW? The reason they call it an Xbox 360 is because you see it do a 360 and walk away. No, I haven't. I hate it though. Baldur's Gate 3 needs to hurry up so I can get Divinity Original Sin 3. Dude, Divinity Original Sin is a game that I would really like to play. It looks extremely cool. Especially if I've got friends to play with. I just want more dragon content. Yeah. Well, you came to the right place, because then you'll get some dragon stuff here eventually. Yeah. And we got some games on the crash safe list. Excellent. Yeah, I haven't looked at that list yet, but thanks for putting that together. I'm gonna look at that and see what we can cook up. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot for being here. Again, thanks for supporting me and watching me. We'll see you on the main channel, hopefully, and on the Discord, Server of Legends. I'm rolling out some new channels and stuff there, so come on by, hang out with me, have a good time. Upload dragon stuff and you'll get my view. Hell yeah. You'll get your dragon stuff for sure, my friend. It's true, 5K. Well, I've got some old consoles though, and you know, there are ways of playing old games. You feel me? And thank you, Okami Joe. Thank you. Yes, and thanks, CPR. I'm doing my best to fix the PC. I'll keep you guys posted on that. No blue screen crash right now, guys. We're not crashing. I was going to end the stream abruptly and pretend like it was a blue screen crash. Joke. Anyways, guys, I'll see you later. Oh, what's going on over? Oh, what's going on in the Discord? Something or other? Oh, okay, I'll go check it out. Anyways, guys, have a great night. Thanks again, and peace out. Can I get the right thank you screen? That works. Bye-bye.